Hey guys, Ethan here from Extreme RC 4x4, and as you can see, I have got this done getting taped off and ready to spray black. I'm just going to wipe it down a little bit on these areas that are getting sprayed, but this has been it was a pain, and especially with how the bed has these narrow bed walls to it, I guess you can call them. In the corners, I have just ended up having to roll up tape and just put it and push it in there with a Allen wrench, just so I can get those. Otherwise you'll get that little bit of black mist in there. So the whole inside of the bed is going to be black, fenders are going to be black, and then the cab I have over here, I'm not completely done taping this. Basically I just taped all the details, and then I'm going to tape off all the big areas, because I'm going to do black first, and then second color, yellow, I'm going to do the rest of it. So shouldn't be too much of a pain. I did do some silver handles, silver radiator cap, I think this is on the hood, and then the other door handle is silver, of course. But I do have some stickers on this body that are on the clear plastic, so they should peel right off. But other than that, it's pretty much ready for paint. I will say that a lot of work to tape all this off. I know a lot of people don't go through and get as much detail as I like to have, but I want to have all these pieces of molding black around all the windows and just stuff like that. So I'll see you guys for paint. Hey everyone, looks like I got it all painted up here. I think I'm all done painting. You can see, got pretty good coverage. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the protective covering off of the outside so we can see how it really looks, and then I'll be right back. Hey guys, so I'm back a couple months later after finishing this paint job, and I just wanted to cover the whole setup of the rig. I know it's a little bit dirty, so you don't get to see the brand new paint job on it. It's got some scratches now at this point. I've definitely been driving it. But the paint job came out pretty good. This was my first real paint job by myself. Usually it's my dad doing it, so turned out good for being my first paint job. I'm really more of a perfectionist, so I can look at this and point out all the things that didn't turn out perfect on this, but you won't really notice them unless you look too closely, especially once it's dirty. So I'm happy with how that turned out. Overall, this truck is just an absolute blast to drive on the trail. You get so much clearance in the front here. The tires are almost even with the edge of the front bumper, and then the fenders on the side, so this thing will drive over so much stuff. It's a really impressive truck to drive and a lot of fun at that. So I just want to go over some of the upgrades that I've done to this truck at this point. The only real upgrade I've done to this truck, aside from the parts that I sell, are the JC Concepts landmine tires. They're about 4.75 inches tall, the top of Class 2 tire size. That's what I wanted to build this for. I wanted to build a Class 2 truck, but I wanted to build it as big as I could so I can get the best advantage I can. And these are some Traxxas 1.9 beadlock wheels with some custom beadlock rings that I've painted for them, and they have this like the central inflation system kind of style guy going on there. Some little touches I did on the paint job. You guys can see I painted that radiator cap silver and the door handles silver before I painted it, and that came out really nice. I just brushed that on there, so shouldn't have any issues with that flaking off, I don't think, once I've painted behind it, since they are such small areas. So on the outside, you can see I have my stubby winch bumper for this Power Wagon. Works great, same width as the grill on the front here, and you can still put the servo winch behind the grill, which I haven't done yet. I don't have a servo winch. Well, I have one, but not enough channels on this remote. The next things are these aluminum sliders. They have gotten some use, and they follow the contour of the body. You can see on the truck here, I didn't want anything that looked too aggressive on here. I kind of wanted to keep this more of a classic look, I guess you can call it. And then moving on to the rear bumper on here, pretty simple, just to have some protection back here. I do have my custom rear body mount on my own shock towers too, and the reason that I went with that is to allow the body to drop down so low on the frame. I didn't want this body to be sitting up really tall. I wanted it to sit down low enough that I could still make reasonable use of the inner fenders, and as we all know, a low sitting truck will typically perform better than a truck that sits really high. And the only real cutting I had to do on this body to make it fit was I cut this big open area in the center to allow me to continue using the full battery tray. And then around this servo right here is where the body sits, so I had to trim around this locking differential servo. And as you can see, the rear shock towers in here, I don't have any rear fenders because the back side of the bed and those fenders doesn't really allow too much crap to get in here. And then it is notched out, so I can still get this battery tray clamp in there, I guess you can call it. As you guys know, I had to relocate the electronics. The radio box was right here, but I moved it up here with my radio box relocation parts here, and then the narrow ESC mount, it kind of raises it up and over so that I don't have to do any trimming on the body. And that's pretty much it. It's all factory electronics. The only thing I might change about the stock electronics is the steering servo is not the strongest, but maybe I'll spend that money in the future. Not sure yet. But overall, it's a really awesome truck. I'm really happy that I built this, and hopefully when we get back into competition season, this thing will be a pretty good performer. I might take this to the Great Lakes Gauntlet again. Well, not again, but I might take this truck this year, just because of the difficulty of some of the obstacles there. I think this would just make it a little bit more enjoyable on this size of tire. So anyways guys, I hope you like how the Power Wagon build turned out. I don't have any major plans for this in the near future. I might make some changes, but I don't have any parts coming at the moment. So thank you guys very much for following along. I hope you enjoyed the build. If you want to build one on your own, you can get your parts at extremrc4x4.com. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.